Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be your general love messages for the second half of April 2018. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to give a general overall intro for all of these videos I'm going to do, repeating what I did with the first half of April, where I'm going to read by each element, starting with fire, ending with the water signs, and each sign within that element is going to have their own deck assigned to them through meditation. You're either going to have the Happy Tarot deck here, the Santa Muerte deck here, or the Housewives Tarot deck here. And you're going to have 3 cards on this side, which will represent the energy of the zodiac, which we're discussing at the moment. And on this side, you'll have the energy of the partner, potential partner, friends with benefits, the person that you're interested in, the person that is interested in you. And then we're going to read all of those cards together at once. I'd like to thank everybody for coming to view this video and watching other videos that I've put up on this channel. I really do appreciate it. I also would like to invite anyone who is interested in having a personal reading with me to check the description box below or the About page. You'll find the information on how to do that there. And if you aren't necessarily interested in a personal reading, but you just want to show your thanks or gratitude for what I'm putting out here, you can feel free to give a donation. And that information will also be in the description box below or found on the About page, okay? So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the readings, starting with the fire signs. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hello, hi, and welcome, fire signs. This is going to be your general love reading for the second half of April 2018. Hello, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. How are you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. So as you can see, I've meditated on your energy and I've assigned your decks. We have Aries with the Santa Muerte deck. We have Leo with the the Housewife Tarot deck, and Sagittarius has the Happy deck. Go ahead and look in the description box below for the timestamps for when the readings actually begin. I'm going to ask that Leo and Sagittarius excuse themselves because we're going to start with Aries, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac and it is the first sign of the fire sign. So Sagittarius and Leo, we'll see you guys in a little bit. Hello, Aries. How are you doing? Hope that the Mercury retrograde wasn't too tough on you. Place your energy in the center as you are the anchoring overall energy for your own reading. Alright, and just as a refresher, guys, meditated previously on these decks, so your energy is already infused into them. Just get it reestablished real quick with Aries energy. Excellent. Okay. First card out, Aries, is going to be who you are in this love relationship, or what the state of mind is that you are currently in coming to this relationship and what you're bringing into it. How you feel about yourself, how you're viewing yourself, what you might be dealing with right now. Okay. Second card, Aries, is going to be how you're viewing your partner or potential partner in terms of your relationship, how you feel, what they're bringing to the table, the energies that they're dealing with, the energies that they're bringing to you, how you guys might be getting along as a unit. Oh, all right. Just one second. Okay. Third card, Aries, is going to be your overall outcome for the second half of April, what you might be wishing for, what you might be hoping for, or what might be described as best advice going forward in the second half of April and onward in this relationship. Okay. First card on this side, Aries, is going to be who your partner is at this time. What's the energy that they're bringing into the relationship? Yeah, okay. How they might be viewing themselves. Second card is going to be how they're viewing you right now, Aries. What do they think about you, or what do they think about you guys as a unit? Oh, wow. Okay, that was 3. And I don't accept 3. I don't know if you can see that. I don't accept 3. But this guy, these came as a pair, but this guy came by himself, so I'm going to take him. All right. And third card on their side, Aries, is going to be what their desired outcome is, what they might be hoping or wishing for in your connection. Might be the best advice for them as steps forward in your relationship. Got it. It fell to the ground. It jumped and it fell. 1 second. Okay. And like I stated in the intro, there is no bottom of the deck energy in the love readings. You are your own overall energy. All right, so you have 2 mystery cards. Let's go ahead and flip these guys. All right. And we have a new addition to our love reads. We have who I creatively call Ellie. You have Ellie here covering the heart chakra on the cloth there. And so that is pink quartz. So that's a nice little lovey energy that hopefully will infuse into your reading. So, Aries, let's take a look and see what you've got here. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright, Aries, you're coming in to your reading. You view yourself, or the energy that you're bringing in, as the Justice card, which in this deck kind of, on first glance, might look like the Death card, but it's not. And so I think that what you're doing, Aries, or who you are right now, is someone who is, seeking justice or feels justified. I think you're feeling resolved or resolute in something. I think that you're feeling empowered with something. You might also be making a judgment call, because, justice in general deals with law, things of that nature. So maybe some of you out there are lawyers or judges or, court mediators, what have you, where you have a hand in making decisions. But in terms of your love life, some of you may be dealing with the court system. Maybe somebody has issues with custody. Maybe somebody has issues with alimony or divorcing or anything like that. And so you're on your side, your partner might be on the other side, or you and your partner are on one side dealing with, maybe another partner of yours, maybe an ex-wife, an ex-husband, or something like that, in terms of actual going to court and dealing with those types of systems. If it's nothing to do with legality at all, like I said, you would be just feeling resolute. You would be feeling like your opinion, your standpoint, what you believe, more to the point what you feel. It's definitely it's more than an opinion. It's more than that. It's like a conviction, a deep conviction, and you feel kind of resolute in that. You feel like you're not really going to budge on that. What you've said is what you've said, and you meant it. What you believe is what you believe, and you mean it. So I don't feel like that you're in a position to be persuaded. You're not in a position to be convinced of something that you don't believe or that you don't accept. So you're kind of being a hard ass right now, Aries. Which is cool. Aries has that potential. Aries has that capability for sure. How you're viewing your partner right now, or your potential partner, or someone you might be interested in, you view them as the Queen of Pentacles upright. Now, this Queen of Pentacles is different than what you might see in a traditional Rider-Waite deck. Is this Queen is at work. She's about to climb that ladder, or maybe she's coming down from it, whatever. But she's out there doing the work. In the Rider-Waite deck, in the traditional deck that you usually see in many YouTube readings, is the Queen is sitting on her throne, and she's idolizing or really focused on her pentacles. And this Queen is doing the same thing, only she's in the process of actually gaining that pentacle. So whoever you're connecting with, or the way that you're seeing in them, is that they're industrious. They're about their money. They're about their pentacles. They do care about their financial situation. That might be a huge focus for them right now, is what's going on in their life financially, what they have, what they don't have. And if we're talking about justice systems or legal systems, that could be an alimony situation for someone out there. That could be a child support situation for somebody out there. So in terms of love, I think that you recognize that to a certain extent your partner isn't open to love, or just can't focus on it right now. They're working hard for their money, and they're very focused on it. Like the face of the Queen here is up into the tree. She's on her work, right? Her focus is not anywhere else. Her line of sight is on that work. So to an extent, you're because the Queen of Pentacles would be an abundant giving energy, but this particular Queen of Pentacles isn't really giving right now. It's all about sort of me. That may benefit you, Aries, that focus on finances, that focus on work, that focus on building up resources might benefit you right now, but you and your partner, in terms of lovey-dovey, ooey-gooey stuff, not feeling it on your side, okay? Which is not bad, you know? We all would love to live in a world where we could just, like, you know, make googly eyes at our loved one all day, but no, we have to get out there and work. That's the reality that we live in. Your desired outcome, Aries, which you might be hoping for in the future, or what might be some best advice for you, is the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Show it to you upright. Not a lot of people are familiar with this deck, so I'll show it to you this way. It's in reverse. So Six of Pentacles talks about traditional Rider-Waite decks, talk about give and take, reciprocity, right? Give as much as you give. Or give as... Did I say give as much as you give? Get as much as you give, excuse me. And right now, there might be some discrepancy with that. Blocked is what I get. Someone or something is blocked right now. Could come back to this whole idea of legal system, or you standing so strongly, so staunchly in a position that you might be blocking something, or the circumstances blocking you. If it's to deal with courts, the courts may be blocking you. Or if it has to do with your partner and things that are going on with them, they might be blocking. You want to go out and have a romantic dinner, they're working late. You know, you've given them the time to work overtime. You've not allowed it, but you've accepted that they're putting in all this extra effort at work. So you're hoping that, you know, when it comes to the weekend, you guys can get together and spend some time together, and they're not allowing it, or they're not available. Feels very temporary. Like, I don't think this would be something that lasts months on end. I think that this is something that, at least in this last half of April, can be worked through. Or it's okay, sure. This just came to me because the orientation of the Queen of Pentacles here, where the energy of your partner rests, is looking sort of up towards the Six of Pentacles in reverse. And if she was to be climbing that ladder, she would be going towards that. Now, if that's the case, you're here and you feel something. You believe something's very strong. You have a huge conviction. You're not letting it go. You're like a dog with a bone, right? And then if she's climbing the ladder, where you're here in the base, getting away from you, for some of you, okay? Moving away from you, climbing this ladder towards the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So some of you might have a partner who's working really hard, dedicated to work, I hate to say it, to avoid you. They go to work, they stay late, they work weekends, they take all the meetings, they go to all the extracurricular, outside of work activities with coworkers. Everything is work, because they don't want to face you. And that's not fair, that's not balanced, that's not giving and receiving, okay? So that word of blocked that I originally got could be that, where you're sort of standing in your place expecting a return, expecting reciprocity, expecting perhaps respect or justice, what's fair in the situation, and your partner's like, I'm not giving that to you, I'm going elsewhere, or I'm busy, I'm in a meeting, and you're like, how does a meeting last, 6 hours? And you're like, I don't know. Your partner's like, I don't know, but it did. So somebody might be, I'm not sensing a lie here, I'm not sensing that they're not actually working those extra hours. I think this person is, but I think the reasoning might be a little suspect, okay? On their side of things, they're coming in as the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, okay? show you upright so you can get familiar with it with this deck, and in reverse. So, Nine of Pentacles. Normally in the Rider-Waite deck is talking about, that's the card where the woman's in the garden and she's surrounded by all her pentacles. She's got a bird on her arm. She looks very well-to-do, right? This is a clock, and it's overrun by vegetation, but it's in reverse. So how I was mentioning just a second ago about, oh, how does a meeting last 6 hours? Why are you working so much overtime? Your partner is in a position where they're not feeling well-to-do. They're not feeling like they have all the pentacles that they need, all the money that they need, the resources that they want, etc., etc. And because this is a clock, right? And like I said, mentioned about this time and spending overtime, I don't think that they're lying when they're saying I'm working or I have work to do. I think that they're manipulating it. They don't have to work as much as they are, but they are choosing to do it. And that, to a degree, is a manipulation, right? If they say, hey, I have overtime, or I have to go meet up with my project team on Saturday and spend like 17 hours at Starbucks in order to meet a deadline, when that is something they don't have to do, but they're going to do it. And the manipulation comes because it's the real reason isn't because I want to make more money. It's not because I want to meet the deadline. It's not because I want to impress my bosses. The real reason is I don't want to be with you. I don't want to spend time with you. I don't want to have that romantic meal. I don't want to do that. I want to do this in order to avoid that. Oh, Lord. Sorry to sound exhausted, but that kind of, to me, like, just say it. I don't want to do that with you. I'd rather work. Like, say it that way instead of saying, oh, I just want to work. No, say the real thing. I kind of don't want to spend time with you right now, Aries. No offense. If you don't want to hear that, that's your right. But if it was me, I'd be like, look, just tell me the truth. How they're seeing you in the situation, how they're viewing you in this connection, they view you as the Knight of Swords. And again, I love this deck because it gives you like all these new interpretations. So here you go. Knight of Swords is eating his sword. He's a sword eater apparently in this deck. But he's also outfitted like he is a part of the military. So some of you might be members of the military. Eating your words is what comes out, but that's not the way that I think it's meant to be interpreted. Eating your words, because swords has to deal with communications, thoughts, and words and everything like that, right? So you're eating your words, but not in that way of like eating crow. I think that they think you're sort of like, okay, better, thank you, here it comes. You, in the eyes of your partner, I think they view you as somebody who's like buying you're getting high off of your own supply. Like, you believe your own line of BS. They think that you, to throw it back to a term like from when I was in high school, like, you're jocking yourself. You're on your own jock. You know? You believe what you believe, like I mentioned earlier, and you're being stubborn about it, or you're being kind of reckless about it, like, or dangerous, because, okay, most people don't walk around swallowing swords. That's dangerous. You shouldn't stick a very sharp object down your esophagus. You could hurt yourself. Okay? So I think that they think you're behaving or communicating or having thoughts or like I said, convictions, whatever the communication is between you two, they think that you're saying things and doing things to your own detriment. Like, you're not doing yourself any favors with what you're saying to them or what you're doing to them. So maybe some of you are aware or just feel, hey, you are spending too much time at work. I want you to come home. There's a way to tell somebody that you want them to come home and spend time with you that might be a little bit more appeasing or appealing. So it might be this whole, you can get more flies with honey than you do vinegar kind of situation. Not looking so good, Aries. I'm sorry. What's their desired outcome? What might they be hoping or wishing for? Or what is advisable from their side of things is Temperance in reverse. Should I tee up right so you can get familiar with the deck? And that's a very beautiful card. But it's in reverse. So, and this is the card of Sagittarius, so you might be dealing with a Sagittarius. Oh, boy. Because this is a card about balance, right? This is a card about having all of the right pieces, but melding them together and infusing them the right way so that you can have a positive outcome, or so that you can have healing or proper perspective, and being mindful of trying to do that. When it's in reverse, excuse me, that's just not happening. Somebody is lacking temperance. Somebody is lacking a proper perspective. Somebody is doing too much, doing all the things that they should not be doing. Seems like it's your partner, and you too. It seems like you both are doing this. You both lack balance. You both have these in reverse as your outcomes, as your advice positions. And that doesn't necessarily mean anything super detrimental, super consequential. Could just be, the flavor of the week. Maybe, this person is working so much because, again, not only do they want more resources, but those resources could apply to you. They could be willing in the future to share those resources with you, or that's sort of down the line, but it's just not for the second half of April. That's just not what's coming out here. Is they're really focused on work. You're kind of on a soapbox. Maybe you're, kind of preaching to them from a soapbox, like, hey, as much as you're working, you need to also relax, because I think Aries is a hardworking sign. You're a cardinal sign, so you have this initiative in you and you have a drive in you to start projects, but sometimes you might falter with completing projects. So you might be dealing with someone who has an ability to kind of, not an ability, but a desire to see something all the way through. Aries is definitely, like most fire signs, you want to be recognized for your hard work. And so maybe you're telling your partner, if you're working on these hours for your boss or for your company, what's the benefit? Like, what are you getting out of it? I understand you're getting more money, or I understand that maybe you'll get a bonus in a few months, but you're so tired and we don't have time together, etc., etc. And that just, to you, doesn't make sense. And that's what you're telling them. That's what you believe. And they're like, I can't hear that right now. I'm going to do what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. So shut up about it. It's essentially what they're telling you, if they're telling you that at all. They might just be saying that internally to themselves. Silence might be their response to you. But whatever's going on right now, Aries, I think that you might need to, and again, it's very general. If you're super happy in your relationship and none of this applies to you, I think if you're stopping by, see you in another 2 weeks. But if this does apply to you in some way, or this is resonating to you in some kind of way, I think you might need to practice a little patience, because the temperance would apply to you as well. As much as the reciprocity that you might desire from them, they would need, or you could take some heed with temperance in the reverse. So you might have to temper your energy. You might have to temper your convictions and kind of mellow out a little bit, or augment how you interact with them, how you speak to them, what you're speaking to them about, in order to just smooth things along. I don't really see like much of a break or breakup or, dissolvement of anything. Potentially for some of you, since justice does deal with laws, or laws with the justice system, with the legal system. So some of you, like I said earlier, might be dealing with divorce, separation, custody, alimony, all those kinds of things. So that might indicate a break. But overall, I'm just seeing two people who are kind of like not on the same page right now. Who knows what will happen in the future, okay? All right, Aries, thank you so much for watching your reading. I'm going to clear the board now, and we're going to get to Leo. And hello, Leo. There you are. Put you down in the center. Grab your deck here. Hello, Leo. Welcome to your love reading for the second half of April. As you heard at the top of the video, I've meditated previously with each deck. You got the Housewife's Tarot deck. Did you get that last month? Or last month? 2 weeks ago? You might have. Don't really remember. Yeah. But anyway, go ahead and reintroduce myself to your energy. I'm going to get your 6 cards, and then I'm going to read your 6 cards, and hopefully it's good news. And I hope you're doing well, Leo, if I didn't say so. Yeah. First card is going to be how you're feeling coming into this connection, how you're feeling coming into this relationship, what your current mindset might be, how you're feeling, how you're viewing yourself, what you might be dealing with, if it's circumstantial energy, things like this, okay? Oh, there you go. Where did that go? There it is. Okay. And Leo, your second card is going to be how you're viewing your partner, or potential partner in this relationship, how you might be connecting with them, what you might be believing you two represent as a unit, or just how you feel about them, what you think about them, things like that. Another one. Ooh, 2. Got a twofer. Third card, Leo, is going to be your desired outcome, what you might be hoping for or wishing for in this connection, or what might be the advice for your next best steps. 2 came out, came as a sidewinder pair. How are we doing this? Up. Okay. Major Arcana. Okay, Leo. It's serious. On their side, Leo, their first card is going to be how they're viewing themselves in this relationship right now. What they're bringing to the table energetically, what they might be dealing with circumstantially. Second position is going to be how they're viewing you in this connection right now, what they think about you, what they feel about you, or what they think of you guys as a unit. How they view you guys as a couple, or potential couple. There it is. And third position on their side, Leo, is going to be their desired outcome, their hopes, their wishes, their dreams for the... Okay, that's way too many. Maybe they have a lot of thoughts. Maybe they've got a lot of feelings. Maybe they're confused. Who knows? But anyway, third position, hopes, dreams, wishes for them, or what might be the next best step, what might be the desire, what might be the best advice for them on their side of things. Okay. And again, no bottom of the deck energy because Leo is the anchoring energy in this reading. And we'll flip these over and we'll get into it. Okay. Leo, 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 Leo. Oh, I'm singing to you this week. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's bad. I don't know. All right, Leo. Okay, coming in, Leo. You. Oh my gosh, I'm picking up the whole thing. You are the 9 of Wands. Hard at work, overworked. Hard at work or overworked. But getting out of that, right? In the traditional Rider-Waite deck, you have a guy who's got a bandage on his head, and he's leaning on one wand, and there are other wands surrounding him. He looks beat up. He's the wounded warrior, right? Here you have this woman in a lovely cocktail dress, escaping, maybe, what she's been dealing with, which is a lot of heavy-duty domestic work. So maybe some of you are having a lot of issues in the home, not necessarily with cleaning or the domestic arts, so to speak, but maybe just having disagreements or just having a hard time getting along in the home for some of you. For others of you, it just could be indicative of hard work, or this connection with this person is hard work, or it's been trying, like you've kind of been embattled in something. Regardless, though, the position of the woman on the card is she's high up on that ladder and she's going up. Don't know where she's going up to because she's almost at the end of that ladder, so I don't know that it's a true escape, but there's this desire or this intention to get out of that, to stop working so hard, to stop feeling so tired, to stop feeling so overworked and burdened, right? So you want to get over this. Either over this relationship, this connection with this person, or you want to get over some kind of block, some kind of, like, I feel like many have felt like either like a hamster on a wheel, or like a mouse in a maze, like a lab rat. Like, not to say that you've been experimented on, although some of you may have been experimented with, you know, in these relationships. But what I mean to say is, like, you want more of a purpose, or you want more of a direction. You want to see things move a certain way, and they're not moving a certain way that you want. And so I think that you're trying to take ownership of yourself, not necessarily the situation or the other person or anyone else involved. Trying to take ownership of yourself and get the hell off of that hamster wheel. Like, you're over it. Like, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of being a rat in this maze, trying to find the cheese. I'm jumping over the walls. I'm going to find my own cheese without you, you know, scientist or whoever is keeping me confined to this maze. Wands deal with spirituality, issues with your internal drive, your internal sort of gusto for life. So this might be something very internal. This might be something very related to your own self-worth or self-belief. But whatever it is, you're like, I'm done with this. I want to be over this. Are you over it? I don't know. I'm not necessarily feeling that, but you want to be. Are you right now? Probably not. All right. How you're viewing your partner or potential partner or whoever you're making flirty eyes at, or whoever's, you know, hitting you up in your inbox right now. You view them as the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Swords. So for some of you, you're dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Or, speaking now of the Knight of Wands energy, or somebody who clearly is like a bad boy type, a renegade, a rebel, without a cause, I guess, who is sort of pretending to be a bad boy or bad girl, okay? Because look here, he's on this motorcycle with this leather jacket and his cigarette, and that's pretty badass, right? That's pretty, you know, 1950s, 1940s greaser badassery, right? And got the girls squealing in the background there, but the sword is one of those switchblade combs, and he's a knight, right? So knights are supposed to be brave and, you know, go into battle and, you know, willing to lay their lives down for their country, you know, all that kind of stuff. You can't go into battle with a switchblade comb. So, to a degree, this person is putting on a front, or they have like a soft bad boy, like a Danny Zuko, like from Greece, Danny Zuko. You know, he tries to play tough, like, oh, Sandy, no, she's, whatever. You know, John Travolta trying to give Olivia Newton-John the cold shoulder, like in that first, like, 15, 20 minutes of Grease, knowing full well we had a huge summer romance and I was so in love with you. But then he treats her like, oh, I don't know her. Oh, she's just another broad. You know, things like that. So, a cad, to get, like, even more old in the way that you would describe her, a cad, like, stop playing, stop. Why are you playing? But you also view this person as the Wheel of Fortune. Now, that's interesting. The Wheel of Fortune. No. Well, Okay. Sort of. They're a gamble to you. Like, being with them would be risky. Or this connection you have is risky. It's kind of on thin ice, or it's like a tightrope act. Like, maybe it's a secret. Okay. Maybe it's a secret. Because the Knight of Swords is fast, right? Fast moving, swift. In, out, in, out. You know, sneaky. We'll say that. He's a sneaky snake. A little bit sometimes, the Knight of Swords, right? And the risk there might be risk in being involved with this person. Taboo, risque. People would be shocked and disagreeing with this connection, potentially. You are attracted to them. Let's be clear about that. Even though they might be a fake bad boy, bad girl type, even though they're like trying to Danny Zuko you and be like, oh, I don't care about you. No, it's whatever. Yeah, we can hang out. I don't care. Yeah, I'll see you when I see you. They might be pulling that stuff, but you're like, I still want you. And I know you want me. Now let's get to the end of the movie where we sing You're the One That I Want and then fly off in a floating car somehow. Let's get to that part. It's kind of where you're at. And this Nine of Wands is feeding up into this energy. Like, she's climbing away from this hardship here, climbing up a ladder into this energy of being in some kind of risky or risque or taboo relationship with this pseudo bad boy who has some fans, who has some admirers. So this person is popular. They might have other suitors. They might have other partners, like of the married type. Okay. Oh man, Leo, what are you doing? Why? Okay. So you're attracted to them. That's the bottom line here. Despite the risk, despite the gamble, despite the potential to lose big, or to have your heart trampled by a fake bad boy, or not trampled, but to have your heart like played with, tossed in the air. Nobody can truly destroy a Leo's heart. Not for forever. Okay, Leo, I apologize, I got cut off there. But listen, so despite the risk of having your heart broken by this person or played with, you're still attracted to them, and you're either going to go towards them, like the Nine of Wands woman climbing up towards them, or you're just going to be in their midst. Not much of a block here between you two. There is a connection there. And I think it's good because you're getting away from some type of hardship or some type of stasis period or some kind of BS. Now, what's your desired outcome for this situation? Or what might be the best advice for you? You have the Hangman in the Tower, which I love in this deck. The Tower is so gross looking. Like, what is that? Is that like fruitcake? What is that? Or it's like a fruit gelatin. It's weird. And the Hangman. So, you want things to be shaken up. You want things to change. You want people to get their head in the game, to change their perspective. Okay, there it is. Thank you. You want this person to stop fronting, to stop giving time and energy to their fans, to their other partners or potential partners or their spouse. You were like, stop that and come see me. Stop hanging around. Stop delaying. Well, not delaying, but just stop hanging about and change up the game. Change up the situation. I feel that you view this person to have a lot of the power in the situation, a lot of the ability to make things move, because you're already moving, right? But they're here. Even though that he's on a bike, he's not really moving. He's like parked He's got the switchblade out and he's about to run it through his hair, right? And the Wheel of Fortune in this card isn't actually spinning as a roulette wheel. It's not actually spinning. The Hangman is hanging. And the Tower, she's a woman, but her legs or her bottom half are made of like a disgusting cake. There is not a lot of movement in these 4 cards. And 3 major arcana out of the 4. You don't feel that a lot of this is in your hands. You have desires, you have wishes with the Wands energy there. But you can't do much. Also would be indicated here by the Hangman. You could be the Hangman, Leo, waiting. Which is interesting because nobody makes a Leo wait. But that's that's not true. A Leo will wait if they feel that what they're waiting for is desirable. And I always think of it like a lion hunting. A lion will wait in the bush, stalking their prey, if they think it's worth it. If they're hungry enough, if they need to eat that badly, they're going to wait. Other times they'll be like, you know what, I'm done waiting, and they leave and they go find some other bit of prey. So that's the waiting that you might be doing, Leo. Might be self-assigned. You may have put yourself in that position, and you're okay with it. I think the bigger energy or the bigger thing is that you want the Tower. You want things to change. You want there to be some kind of shake-up. And look at the way this woman is looking. Like she's like dreaming about it. She's like daydreaming. Oh, like the sighing. Like, oh, wouldn't it be great if such and such, did such and such a thing? Wouldn't that be great if we could just get on a plane and head down to, the Bahamas, and we could drink pina coladas on the sand and, like that kind of thing. So that would be drastic though, right? Like to get up on a Wednesday morning and be like, hey, Danny Zuko, or whoever you're dealing with, there's 2 plane tickets, one with my name on it, the other has your name on it, let's go. Like that kind of like drastic, very romantic because of how she looks in the card, very like idyllic. A little bit of fantasy there. But then also the traditional meaning of the Tower is also present, I feel, which is like destructive. Knocking down a building or a structure because the foundation was poor. So you're just like, I've been dealing with crap. I want that crap gone. I want a new foundation. And I want it with you, Danny Zuko. Change your perspective. Get at me. Get your stuff together and come see me. Okay? A lot of stuff on your side, Leo, all right? On their side of things, how they're viewing themselves is the 2 of Swords. Should I speed up, right? So you can get familiar with it in this deck. And then reverse, 2 of Swords reverse. So, I think they feel they're stuck. Because, this is a pincushion, right? A tomato-shaped pincushion, right? So they view themselves as stuck. Or excuse me, 2 of Swords, 10 of Swords. I'm so sorry. Mercury retrograde is on its way out, thank God. Now listen, 10 of Swords. So they view themselves as stuck. Regardless, they view themselves as stuck. But, and being that it's reversed, coming out of that? Sort of. It sounds like I'm asking myself questions, which I am, because nobody else is here technically in the way that we perceive it. But when I asked that question, getting over it, the answer that I got was sort of. Like, like that kind of is how I got it. They want to be, much like you want to be out of your stuff, they want to be out of their stuff. Are they getting out of it? A little bit. Progressively, a little bit. A little bit. Progressively, slowly, inching their way. I think they feel that something is coming. The end to a difficult situation is coming for them. Maybe not quickly, though. On time. Okay. So, it might be taking its sweet old time on their side of things, or they might be taking their sweet old time, but that's what it has to be, is what I got when I was sitting there just now, getting into this card. Because, yeah, like, this hand is either removing or putting in, but I feel it's the way it is. It's like a removal, right? Is one at a time, pulling these little pins out. And you know, in the 21st century, you could be like, just grab a couple and pull them out, not just one at a time. So whatever they're going through, swords would deal with communication, and Ten of Swords traditionally is talking about heartache, backstabbing, being betrayed. They're getting over it, or they're dealing with it, but they're doing it slowly. That's not fun. So, sucks to be your partner or potential partner, right, Leo? And I think you know this. If you don't know it, you're going to become aware of it. They're going to tell you, or they're going to show you. Now, how they view you is the King of Swords. King of the barbecue, apparently, right? He looks a little like dogmatic is the word that comes to mind, but not necessarily in that same way. He looks like he's in control, right? He's got his skewer, aka his sword, going, and he's got his eye on the grill. I don't know if you can tell, like, how his eyes are oriented. He's like watching the grill. He's watching things cook up. So I think that they see you as being sort of detached. So Danny Zuko, he can dish it, but he can't take it, right? They know you're involved, or that you're there, seated nicely on that couch. They know that you're watching the grill, you're watching the action take place, but you're not actually getting involved. And that's very much like a King of Swords energy, like a little aloof, a little like, I see it. And no response, right? No true deep reaction, like, I see what you're saying, or I see what you're saying. And you're like, and what do you think about that? And the King of Swords is like, yeah. You know, and you don't really get much from him. So slightly guarded, actually, also comes out. So, Leo, going back to this hangman thing and this Wheel of Fortune, you're probably aware of the riskiness of this person or the situation they're involved in or the situation that you two are involved in together, whatever it is. And that hangman energy, hangman would kind of indicate a silent kind of position to take or way of expressing yourself with silence. Yes, that is a potential. So you might be waiting and watching, knowing the risk, watching the bad boy from afar, you know, not wanting to get down into the dirt because you're coming out of your own Nine of Pentacles BS energy. King of Swords would also be calculated. Like, he's watching the grill, but look at the skewer that he's already constructed for himself. Like, he's already set himself up a nice meal, and he's still, like, kind of watching or plotting or calculating his next plate. You know what I mean? Like, you're accomplished, but then you're also still accomplishing something else. Or you're accomplished, but you're not necessarily, like, digging in, to use that phrase in terms of, like, enjoying a meal. You're not digging in to your own plate. So that's strange. I don't know where that's coming from. So someone out there might not be living up to their potential, which is a weird thing to do considering it's a King of Swords. But that just came out where it's like, why are you still watching the grill? Why aren't you enjoying the meal that you've already constructed for yourself? Why are you still cooking? Like, you have enough to go ahead and have a meal and have a good time at the barbecue. Like, why are you still standing here tending to the grill? I hope that makes sense for somebody. All right, what's their desired outcome? What might they be hoping for? What might be, the advice for them is the Knight of Pentacles. So progress, industriousness, right? Like, look at this guy. Look at this young man, right? Like, he's dapper and he's like running the lawnmower. Why? So I think for your partner in their future, or what might be up next for them, or what they might be hoping for, is for someone, maybe you, Leo, since we were just talking about this whole still cooking scenario, they might be hoping for you, Leo, to kind of come off of the clothesline here, get out of your depths, take that risk, and kind of become the Knight of Pentacles. Become somebody like a man with a plan, a woman with a plan. To get in touch with self-employment is what just came up. Self-employment. So for some of you, you may have been spinning around this idea with this person, saying, hey, I've got an idea for this type of app, or I want to open up an online store, or, I've got seed money now, or I've got my family invested in this project of mine, and this person's like, do it, and you're like, I don't know yet, because you're coming out of a hard time and sort of still in a stasis, and moving forward would be a huge change, and you kind of want that, but I think for some, it's like trepidation, like, I want it, but, like, you really want it, but you're like, you really want to take the chance, but, So for some of you, I think that your potential partner, wants you to kind of be about your business and get into the business of creating a business. Business is really coming on strong. Also, duty. It might be for them, duty, to be more upstanding. Maybe you see them as the King of Swords, and maybe they recognize themselves a little bit as King of Swords, Knight of Swords. Maybe they see themselves a little bit as this bad boy, and maybe they want to turn over a new leaf, so to speak, and become a good boy or a good girl, or, become a little bit more polished, a little bit more respectable, so to speak. Either way, it has the potential to have a lot of drama. It has the potential to have a lot of shakeups, a lot of risk, a lot of gambling. But I don't see it going poorly. Like, that Tower energy might scare some people because of the traditional interpretation of Tower. I don't see it that way. That Tower is gross looking, so that it's not healing. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be desirable for someone to go into a super trying moment in their lives, but it might be necessary. And you can handle it. They can handle it. Like, nobody here is, maybe slightly with the King of Swords being aloof, being sort of detached, maybe, but overall, you both can handle whatever the Tower might be. They're coming out of crap. You're coming out of crap. Go forward. Go forward. Okay? All right, Leo, I want to thank you for coming into seeing your reading. I appreciate your patience with watching the whole thing. I hope you did. And I hope to see you in another 2 weeks when I do your general love readings for the first half of May. And I'm going to clear the board now, and then I'm going to talk to Sagittarius. All right, hello, Sagittarius. I apologize. I'm having issues with my camera, so I had to do the shuffle off camera because it just wasn't working, and I think it's going to work now. So to quickly go over what you have in front of you here, I did the shuffle off camera. I do apologize, but the first card here is going to be how you're coming into this love relationship. for the second half of April with your partner or potential partner. How you're viewing them is in the second position there. The third position on your side is going to be your desired outcome, what you might be hoping or wishing for in this connection. On their side, the first card is how they are viewing themselves, what they're bringing to the table energetically in this relationship. Second card is going to be how they're viewing you, how they're viewing the connection with you. And the third card, which I will flip over now, all the rest came face up. For this one is their desired outcome, what they might be hoping for or wishing for in the future. Okay. So, for some of you Sagittarius, I'm sure you enjoy that you didn't have to sit through the shuffling, so let's get into it. How are you viewing yourself, Sagittarius, coming into this love relationship for the second half of April 2018 is as the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Show it to you upright so that you can become familiar with this deck, as I don't think a lot of people use it on YouTube. And again, this is the Happy Tarot deck. So, it's in reverse. You're not working. So that's literal for some of you. Some of you are not working. You do not have a job. Sorry. Or not sorry, but yay. I don't know if you like that or don't like that. For some of you, you're not working. You're unemployed right now. For others of you, in terms of general themes or general position in your life right now, is you're not working, you're not wanting to put in the work, or you can't. Stuck is a word that comes to mind. Stifled is another word that comes to mind. Or unagreeable is another word. I think some of you don't desire it. Like, some of you really don't want to work right now. Either an actual job, or since this is a love reading, you don't want to put work into the relationship. Some of you, that is what's there. For others of you, you wish you wanted to, is how it's coming across. You wish you had the desire, the interest, the give a care, the give a F to want to put in the work, but you don't. Some of you aren't meeting expectations. Either your own or from your partner or from someone else or some circumstance. And there's just like this, like, I think I said it, disagreeable. There's like a disagreeable energy coming out of this card. Someone wants something and they're not going to get it. I think also there may have been like, an agreement, a contract, a plan, and somebody's not fulfilling their end of the bargain, so to speak. I think you're pretty aware of that, Sagittarius, to be honest. Like, you know, you may not be pulling your weight. You know that you may not be doing all the things that you're supposed to do or that you need to do or that you want to do, which is an interesting, potentially complex thing. For those of you who want to, but you aren't or you can't, some of you may be dealing with depression or anxiety and things of that nature that have considerable effect and impact on our daily lives, right? You want to get up and go to work, but something in you says you can't. And for others, it might be a physical ailment, if it's not a mental setback or a mental not condition, but issue or circumstance or constraint, so to speak. But regardless of why or how or in what way, you're very aware, Sagittarius, that you cannot, you will not, you are unable to, whatever it is, however it comes out in the wash for you, you know you're not putting in your work. You know you're not putting in your fair share. And in a strange way, I think you're okay with that. Not like you accept it, like in a defeatist way. For those of you who know you're not doing it and you don't want to, you're set. I said no and I mean no. Like, that's kind of the situation. Or I said I'm not available, I'm not doing it. I said I don't want to go there, I'm not going there. Like, you're very like, no. No, I won't be persuaded. Some of you. Others of you, where you want to, I think that you're sad, or you're remiss, or you're like an aw energy or a shucks kind of energy, like a I wish I cared, but I don't. I wish I could be the man or woman that you want me to be, but I'm not. I wish I could be the thing that you desire, but I'm not. I wish I could make it to your best friend from your best friend from college's wedding. I wish I could go with you. I wish I could do that, but I can't. I've got other obligations. What are those other obligations? Yeah, I'm just going to be inside watching CSI on a marathon while you go to your friend's wedding. I'm not going to do it. Like, I hate to say it, but some of you are like okay with being a scumbag or being perceived as a scumbag. Not being a scumbag, but being perceived as like somebody who doesn't give a crap and is kind of being detached and aloof and kind of being really like just unfair to us, to your partner or potential partner. And you're, like I said, you're aware of it and you're okay with it. So that's always good to own who you are. I'm a fan of that. I don't know if your partner is a fan of that, but I am. How you view your partner, or how you're viewing your relationship with them, is as the Nine of Pentacles. So, interestingly, how I just mentioned scumbag, and some of you are aware, and blah, 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 blah. Someone, one of you, or a few of you, I'm not saying that literally, like one Sagittarius who might be viewing this video, but someone potentially out there is living high on the hog through their partner. Like, your partner is well-to-do, they're accomplished, they have money, they've got a stocked fridge, they take care of themselves, they take care of the people that are around them, and you are lapping that up. You're taking advantage of that. Which would definitely play into that Three of Pentacles energy, where you're not doing your fair share. You don't work, they're taking care of you, you're sitting on the couch all day in that CSI marathon while they're out working hard and bringing home the bacon. And then when they come home with the bacon, you're like, oh my God, are you making breakfast for dinner? Please. Or you're demanding, hey, I see you brought bacon. You gonna fry that up? You know? So some of you are basically taking advantage of your partner. Their niceness, their kindness, their resources, their money. You're being babied in a way. You're being coddled. You're being treated so nicely, like a baby. And that's kind of not usual in Sagittarius energy, but some of you, it's definitely your MO. If you're not taking advantage, if you are in this Three of Pentacles reversed energy, and you're not being taken care of, you're not being babied, for others of you, you see your partner as being better off without you. Being able, if they're not better off without you, being able to. Like, you could do so much better than me, Diane, or Joe, or whoever your partner is. Like, why are you even with me? Like, I'm bringing nothing to the table. Look at you. You could go and do your own thing and be just fine without me. So others of you have that energy where you're viewing them sort of like in a, like, what are you doing wasting your life with me? Or you view them as having the potential to do that. If they aren't self-sufficient, if they aren't flush with money, they could be without you. But you're being kind of quiet about that. Or you know that them being abundant and self-sufficient and having that kind of capability would happen if they let you go. Or if you let them go. Now, your desired outcome, what are you hoping for? What are you wishing for in the future of this relationship? What might be some advice for you is the Lover's card. Major Arcana of the Lover. So some of you might be dealing with a Gemini. Decisions. Not angelic decisions, but there is an angel in that card. So an overseen, a guided decision. I think you want to make a good decision. I think you want to have a connection with someone, but you want it to be the right someone. And that's kind of where this decision lies. Is it Diane or Joe, the abundant or potentially abundant person, or is it someone else? and you might not be sure of who it is. And that might be why this Three of Pentacles is in reverse, because you haven't decided. You're like, is there something more than this person? Like, is there someone else for me? Am I the right person for them? Or is there some third person that I haven't met yet, that they haven't met? Like, this is where your Sagittarian energy comes out, where you're like, is this the scenario? Or is it this scenario? Or is it this scenario? Or is it this scenario? And you're like running through the possibilities in your mind of who's supposed to be with who. Like, you're doing probability, like, matchups. Person A, if person A is with person B, but person C is involved, then what is the outcome? If person A is supposed to be with person C, but then person B is still involved, then what is the outcome? And you're kind of like exploring the idea of where to go. What's next? Do I stay where I am, turn this Three of Pentacles upside right, put in the work with who I'm with now to get the outcome I want, or have the experience? Because it's not usually the outcome. I should have augmented that. It's not usually outcome with Sagittarius. It's more of the experience. Like, I don't really care about the end. I care about the journey. Okay? So, do I take this Three of Pentacles energy, flip it around, put in my work, put in my fair share, agree to fulfill my contract or my obligation with this person, whatever it is, and then I have a better journey? Or should my journey be with someone else? Or should my journey be by myself? Or should their journey be with someone else? Or should their journey be by themselves? That's where that Lovers is. I don't feel that it's necessarily a decision. The irony of this deck is it's the happy deck, right? I don't think that this decision is necessarily a happy one or an easy one for Sagittarius to make. I think it's actually pretty confusing for you, or daunting for you. Because Sagittarius is usually, you know, like kind of free-spirited with their decisions, or free-spirited with how they think. They don't usually like to box themselves in and give themselves like such hardcore variables to deal with. The idea for you with a variable when a variable is X, you like that. You like that the variable is unknown, or has the potential to be a plethora of things. When the variables are a little bit more constricted or constrained or predictable, you're like, oh God, oh no. So I think that's what's going on here. I think that there's some idea of wanting to have more, but not being able to have more or do more. And you're seeing someone have a potential, or you recognize that someone is like sustaining you and feeding into your, taking care of you, for those who that applies to. And that doesn't make you happy. You need to decide if you're going to allow this person to do that, which is a weird thing to do. Am I going to allow so-and-so to keep going to work every day, paying my bills, feeding me, taking me to, you know, to my appointments? Like, am I going to allow someone to continue to take care of me? Like, that is a it's a daunting and trying decision for Sagittarius, because again, with Sagittarius, your energy is so like self-sustained, self-fulfilling, that to be in this babying situation that some of you might be in, this whole, so this person takes care of me, that turns you off. As much as you are benefiting from it, or as much as you're being sustained by that situation, you don't like it. And that would be why you need to make a decision. Do I stay here and allow my dignity to be dragged through the mud, my independence to be sullied, or do I get up off of my butt and start to take care of myself and do the things that I need to do for myself? A lot of energy of what I need to do for myself going on your side, Sagittarius. Your partner, potential partner, they're coming in as the Three of Wands. So, ha ha ha, they're doing the same thing. That's very loud. Hold on. Okay, Sagittarius, I had to skip that song because it was incredibly loud. Okay, so your partner's coming in as the Three of Wands. Now, as much as you're evaluating what to do next, what's next, they're doing it too. Are you aware of that? If you aren't, you are now if you're watching this, but I don't think many of you are aware of that, or at least you don't think they're doing this. This might be something they're doing secretively, like evaluating, because that's what this little person is doing, right? Sitting there with their little cat, watching their ships, and they're like, oh, there go my ships. I can't wait to see what's on them. Or the Three of Wands is about that surveying of the potential and waiting for what you've wished for, what you've hoped for, what you've worked for to come back to you. Send it out to the universe. Universe brings it back to you on these 3 ships, right? So your person is also evaluating. They're also getting in touch with what they truly want, trying to figure that out, trying to puzzle through or puzzle out who they are, what they want, where they want to go, all those kinds of things. Because Wands is that industrious energy. Wands is that spirited energy of get up and go, best laid plans, going on a journey, being spirited, being passionate. They're doing it as well. But I just don't think you recognize that they're doing it, or they might not even recognize that they're doing it or that they need to do it. But they're definitely in a contemplative state. You are too, but it's a little darker, if I'm honest. It's a little more like emo-ish. Like you're being a little more angsty with yours. Theirs is a little bit more hopeful, a little bit more, I can do it. Yours is like, God, what's that? I can't think of it. There's like a cartoon or like a comic strip or something. I can't remember. Where like, it doesn't matter. I can't remember it, but you're just kind of like not as enamored or as jolly, so to speak. You're not as jolly in your considering of what to do next, how to proceed. They're a little bit more hopeful. They're not necessarily jolly, but they're at least their perspective is definitely more joyful. Like the potentials for you, you're like, those are the potentials, or I don't want to think about those potentials. I want different potentials. They're thinking of, oh, look at those potentials. Yeah, I like that. How they're viewing you, Sagittarius, interestingly, is the King of Swords, right? Yeah, King of Swords. Or King of Swords. King of Pentacles. Oh my God, Mercury, leave me alone. Mercury retrograde. We're getting over it. We're getting out of here. But anyway, the King of Pentacles. Or is it the Queen in this deck? This looks like it could be the Queen. Let me double check. Let me see. Hold on. I'll leave that there for a second. Sorry, Sag. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, the King. Yeah, okay. It's just, this King, no offense to anybody out there who's like, I don't see gender, but that King looks a little feminine to me. That's why I was like, is it the King? It is the King. Okay, so the King of Pentacles, my bad. So they view you as this. Potential. God, there's a lot about potential in your reading. I think that they think or see you as somebody who could be like this. You could have your own kingdom. You could be kind of flush with resources, with money, with possessions, and other things that you may value. You could be happier, because I think that face, not just because it's the Happy Tarot deck, but the face, and not all faces in this deck are happy, but this face is happy, contented, right? I think that they see that you could do that. But look at the eyes of this King. They're closed. You don't see it. They see it, you don't see it. I think they know what you need to do or what you could do to become this. And it might just be what they think, not what you believe. If you would just get certain job, or if you would go to a certain university, you could do this. And you're like, I don't want that job. I don't want to go to that college. Shut up. Sorry, not to say you're telling them to shut up, but kind of like, you don't know me. You don't know what I want. So there's a disconnect with this here. But you both see each other as having the potential to be better than or have so much more if you would do XYZ. You believe they could have so much more if they would leave you alone, or if they would stop babying you so much or something like that. And they believe you could have so much more if you would just open your eyes and kind of put in the work, or believe in yourself, or believe that a certain opportunity is an actual opportunity and not a detriment to you or not a waste of time. Time. Waste of time. He's also like resting there, right? He's like looking like he's napping on that throne. So they might see you again as being somebody who's like resting on what you have earned or what you value. The person. They might recognize you as not putting in the work, not putting in that time and effort like you should be doing, but sitting pretty like a king. Do they know that they're the reason that you're the King of Pentacles, that you're sitting pretty, that you're able to relax? Maybe. Because, I mean, their outcome, what they're desiring, what they're wishing for, what might be their next best advice, is the Six of Swords. Moving on up. I don't know why that popped in my head, but the theme song to the Jeffersons just came to my head. Moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. But I didn't want to sing to you. I didn't want to torture you, but that's it. So they want change. You want decisions. You want to get your path settled, and they want to move on. They want to forget about the hard times, forget about the difficulties, and get into to calmer, smoother waters. Interestingly, I think they think that the Six of Swords energy can be done with you. I think some of them are here, definitely. I mean, they're all here, but some of them are like, potentials. Maybe Sagittarius isn't who I'm supposed to be with. Let me see what's going to come in on these ships. Like maybe some of them are like secretly on Tinder, or, you know, talking to their ex through Facebook or something like that, being like, hey, are you one of the 3 ships that might be coming into my dock soon? You know? But others, I think, believe you still are their potential, and they want to, you know, enjoy the potentials with you. They want to see what's coming in on these 3 ships with you. Which would then explain how one of these figures in the Six of Swords is cloaked and we can't see who it is. So there's this, who am I going on my Six of Swords journey with? They don't know. Some of them hope it's you. Some of them are like, I don't think it's going to be you, Sagittarius. And that would suit you. I think some of you are like, yes, go away. Leave me alone. I don't want to be with you. Or, yes, thank you for pulling the plug on this, because I wasn't going to do it because my hands are covered in Cheeto dust and I didn't want to make a mess. You know, some of you are literally sitting on the couch hoping and praying that every time your partner comes home, that your laziness, your inability, or your unwillingness to contribute is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and they're going to dump you, which is so weird. Because most Sagittarius that I've encountered, you don't like that. You don't want other people to make decisions for you. But somebody out there is like resting. And I think it's for those of you who are like seriously dealing with issues of anxiety or depression, or having some rut that you just can't get out of. Coming out of a Mercury retrograde, that might explain it a little bit. Maybe. For others of you, I don't think you want to fight. Like, you don't want to fight with this person, but you do want to let this person go, or have them let you go. Very interesting. Sag, very interesting. Then that's really all I have, you know? I hope that this message has resonated with some of you. If it hasn't, if you're completely happy, by the way, in your relationship, if none of this applies, I do apologize. Come back in 2 weeks. Maybe I'll have a message for you at that point. For others of you, I wish you the best of luck in handling this situation or any other situations that deal with your love life in the second half of April. I want to thank you and everyone else who may have watched this video to this point. Please check in the description box for information on contacting me about personal readings and information about doing donations in case you just want to throw me some money. You know, any amount will do as just a thank you for what you've seen here today or any other videos that you may have viewed. And I hope to see you guys again in 2 weeks when I do the love general readings for the first half of May. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.